know that some of you are lawyers, teachers, bored housewives with nothing better to do with their evenings. But with any luck, a few may learn something. My name is Lockwood. Professor Adrian Lockwood. It's called goober dust by the older blacks in the Deep South. Sprinkle it around your enemy's bed at night, and he will die in his sleep. Ground up peanut husks. That's all it is. Can it really kill? No. Not here with automobiles and electric lights. We could never believe such a thing. But strip away the lights, the automobiles, the antibiotics that keep us one step ahead of death, and we are left with pathetic, frightened little creatures wandering in a cruel and hostile world. So we fear the gods, demons, devils, bats, banshees, angels, vampires. Yes, as a matter of fact, vampires. It is those answers born out of fear, that we are here to study. It's interesting that you should all turn out here tonight in overflow numbers. Is it that, like primitive man, you're still filled with fear? With a nameless dread that you cannot shake?
Death.
Who are you?
Anita Jacoby.
Death has been the chief dread. The one occupation of man since he first crawled from the caves. Of all the animals, only man is aware that as surely as he was born, he will someday die. The individual who can inflict death has the complete respect of the other man. They are in awe of him. Death is also very beautiful. Some loved ones we have seen in death never looked more peaceful, more serene. What is your name?
Anne Arthur. I'm an instructor in English literature.
I'm sorry if the subject frightens you.
Sure no one holds you responsible, Professor.
Ah, the voice interested in vampires.
Yes. I plan a paper on Charles Croydon.
Charles Croydon is not generally known. Perhaps you would care to share your knowledge with the rest of the class.
Thank you. He was a 17th century English nobleman. It is said that he and his wife were vampires. They were hunted by the Church of England. They sought refuge in a small Puritan settlement in Massachusetts. Croydon was responsible for a series of gruesome murders near Salem. His wife was, in fact, burned as a vampire in 1846. But Croydon was never found.
Then if we are to accept the traditional legend that vampires can only be killed by the ritual of the wooden stake through the heart, Charles Croydon must still be alive today.
But why must he hide? A vampire with all the awesome, terrible power of Satan. All the black arts at his command. Why must he be forced to scurry like a frightened rat?
But as a vampire, what choice would he have? He would have to protect himself against the anger of righteous people.
You would think the man's personality would compel him to stand up, to terrify all the puny mortals around him, and not to hide in dark holes behind assumed names. Like Caleb Croft.
Who's Caleb Croft?
Even I know the answer to that one, Professor.
Well, let us hear it.
Caleb Croft was a murderer and a rapist. Accidentally electrocuted in the late 30s. His body mysteriously disappeared. And a police officer believing Croft to be a vampire was found near Croft's burial place. Dead. Drained of all his blood. These facts are all published in a book that links Caleb Croft and Charles Croydon.
What book is that?
Let me see. Oh, yes, it's called The Mysteries of New England. But there weren't many copies made.
You seem very interested in the Croft case, Professor.
Yes, I am, Mr.
Eastman. James Eastman.
Mr. Eastman, if you remain in the class long enough, you too may develop an interest, more than you bargained for.